Hello guys, if you are watching this, you would have probably started for preparing for IIM admission interviews. A number of factors are involved in passing this last stage of admission to our dream institution, and one of them is current affairs. This video in our series of preparatory videos discusses the topic, how current affairs play a role in your IIM entrance interviews. As the name implies, current affairs refers to recent events that have an impact on our lives. We are sometimes unable to comprehend how these events will bring about change, but with careful study, we will be able to do so. However, as the majority of aspirants do not have the time to conduct extensive research on such topics, it is generally recommended that aspirants understand the gist of such events. The subsequent query that aspirants have is what kind of news they should study for interviews. To that, various experienced faculty and past aspirants advise that aspirants should first focus on current affairs from their field of study alongside cover significant developments that are happening right now that will have an impact on everyone. Furthermore, it is advised that candidates stay up to date on significant events in both their hometown and present-day residence. For example, if an applicant hails from Uttar Pradesh but is currently employed in Mumbai, it is expected that they are aware of the significant events taking place in both Mumbai and Uttar Pradesh. Additionally, there are three categories into which the questions arising from current affairs can be separated. According to first category, question would be one that requires a direct response. These would be questions like, do you know that there was a stampede at the Kumbh Mela? To which many of us would respond in agreement that we know about the event. Another possible additional question that may arise from this is, what was the event which led to that stampede? These are the kinds of questions that require you to know the fundamentals of the event, and the answers to these kinds of questions are typically brief. According to the second category, a follow-up question to the main one might be, what would be actions undertaken by you to avoid this stampede, if you were responsible for the management of the event? Interviewers use these kinds of questions to gauge candidates' management abilities. As a result, candidates must provide a detailed response to the question regarding the steps the management could take to prevent this incident. We must, however, keep in mind that our responses must be considering self as a supporting staff and refrain from acting as the event's sole manager until that is stated so by the interviewer in the question itself. In the third category, the interviewer evaluates how knowledgeable you are with the major event in your sector. Given that the candidate is employed in the field of logistics, the interviewer may ask, how would Kumbh bring advancements in logistics sector? Similar to the previous category, with these types of questions, the interviewer tests your knowledge of your industry as well as about the event, providing them with an accurate representation of the candidate's abilities and knowledge. One of our previous experiences demonstrates the questions related to the third category. In 2021, one of our students who was employed by an IT company during his interview was asked, how information technology would help in providing better results for the farm laws which are being introduced by government recently. To this candidate's response was, Sir, since I've never been a student of law or agriculture, I only have an elementary knowledge of the laws. However, as I recall, farm laws support nationalized trading of goods, so this would necessitate an enormous amount of data analysis and research, where information technology would aid in delivering enhanced results for both the government and business organizations. Recently, one of our past students was being asked about recent Pushback Express tragedy during his recruitment interview, where he answered the question in detail about how the misinformation regarding fire was circulated in form of rumor which led to fright among passengers. These frightened passengers further jumped from the running train, however, they came under a train coming from opposite direction leading to their deaths. Further interviewer made a follow-up question, suppose that you are leading our office and a rumor passes that due to losses in consecutive 3-4 quarters, management is deciding to lay off people from various senior positions. Due to this rumor, these employees have lost faith in management. How would resolve this issue? One of our another experience. During 2023, one of our students was being asked regarding his stand on Maharashtra legislature crisis which occurred in past June and how this crisis has affected the business in the state. This type of question is a two-edged sword, because we are unable to understand interviewer has stand in favor of the event or in against of the event. Therefore, as a maximum of senior faculty's comment, we must answer this type of questions with neutrality. To share with, student responded to the question as, I did not have a keen eye on turn of events, However, as I can remember that a section of MLA was unhappy with the leadership, so they switched their sides to go towards their prior alliance. I understand that the events brought the government to standstill in various sectors, but I see now government is working at a good pace. If I need to compare the present government with the prior one, I can tell that there has been change in their working directions, as with the change of alliance partners their priorities have changed. These questions were again brought forward last year with a little makeover, where interviewers were asking regarding the stand of candidate on political crisis of Maharashtra. To which one of the candidate responded, "Madam, I do believe that these events have maligned the politics of the state. However, it can lead to decision among citizens to elect their representative in much more wiser manner, such that they further form a better and stable governmental leadership for state's administration. Hence, we need a keen eye on happenings around us, in form of current affairs." If you are from finance or taxation background, the questions regarding new income tax regime and about recent changes can come forward in the interview. Engineering graduates from EXTC or related backgrounds can expect questions regarding 6G, robots and security forces and various others. And similarly for other branches and other educational programs. It needs to be understood that it is not a rule that interviewer would ask you a question definitely from current affairs. It has happened to one of us that during an entrance interview there were no question from current affairs.